and welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Our founder, Jack Roser, and myself today are speaking with three great young patriots from the Lamont Junior Tea Party. And we were talking about kicking the can down the road. Ed, how do you feel about this administration putting the burden on you and your posterity?
Well, I think it's pretty bad.
And
why?
Why? Yeah.
Well,
just speak your heart.
Go ahead.
I don't really know. I don't know what to say.
You don't want, how about where you came from? Do you want America to look like?
No, not at all.
Do you think if we keep doing these kind of things, ultimately we will look like a Greece or some type of...
You know, in his case, I think I see something of what I've seen in adults that have, in recent times, have come from other countries to America to get away from socialist or communist regimes. And they get here in America, and they're polite people. I mean, they have good standards, and they're courteous, and they feel like they come to America, and it is not appropriate to criticize the country they've just moved to. There's a lot of reticence to do that, and I know I've known a lot of people that have come to this country, come to my company to find a job that are that way. They're courteous, hardworking, decent people, and they're trying to do it on their own without blaming somebody else. But now that you're in America, you're an American. And you came here to do things and get it done. And we're all a bunch of wise guys and can tell everybody else what to do. So join the crowd here.
Now, Michael, tell me what you think about us kicking the can down the road. Do you find it frustrating? And
Well, I do find it frustrating because, I don't want to be paying this debt off. And I see the manufacturing in America running away from us. It's all going to China and other countries.
India.
And when that goes away, so does our ambition. And when a country doesn't have ambition, they won't go anywhere. And, I think we need to bring back manufacturing to America. And with that comes back our ambition. Like when Obama cut the space program, that took away lots of our ambition, and that's just letting the Russians get ahead of us, and that's not what America was founded on. We always wanted to be the top dog, and I want to fight for it.
Well, let's hear a little more about ambition. I mean, you don't think entitlements make people ambitious?
Well, the government should not support the people. That's one of my points, and that's always been the conservative stance on things. But then, the liberals would say...
But that's so heartless. What are the poor people going to do?
What I think about this, these programs, they're kind of good ideas. And like this economy, when thousands of people are getting laid off. But what I think is we should try to prove that we're out there trying to get jobs again, not just sitting there letting the government give us money. And I also think they should be doing drug tests because the government is paying for people to do drugs. And I don't pay taxes yet, but I wouldn't want my taxes going to pay some person doing drugs. That's like me being a buyer myself.
Now, how else are you guys going to help? Because we were talking a little bit about this Obama zombie. You guys have a lot of social networking experience, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we talk a little bit about that and how we can start setting the dialogue from the conservative end?
Okay. So what do you want to know about it?
Well, tell us about how you're going to do that, where you're going to integrate Facebook, Twitter, and how you plan on getting the conservative message viral and how we start the dialogue.
Well, I mean, seems almost all the kids in our school have a Facebook. And, since usually you're friends with everyone in school and on the Facebook, and if you post like a specific video of something that's really going on, they'll take a look at it and they'll actually see. They're like, whoa, I didn't know this, from what the news is actually telling them. So, and also, when we form this Tea Party, it's also to like stand up against in class, like what our textbooks have to say, and have like a casual debate with our teachers. So, you know, to like if you know, if we see something wrong going on in the class, like if they say, oh yeah, Reagan was the worst president, you know, but that's not true. You need to stand up to that, and that's basically we need to use Facebook too, because there's strength in numbers otherwise.
Are you concerned about your grades?
Yeah.
Do you think your teachers will give you worse grades if you're standing up against them?
Yes, I'm very concerned with my grades. When I come home from school, I usually spend a couple hours and make sure I go an extra mile when doing my homework, because I want to make sure that the teachers can use nothing against me in the class, and that's why I go the extra mile when doing my work.
I've heard
You know,
that.
you got to realize that teachers are government employees. We're paying taxes to these people that are interested in big government. Not all of them, because there's a lot of teachers who have decent thoughts of their own, but they're pushed by that union and by the circumstances of that they are government employees.
Well, you guys have a lot of work cut out for you, and you guys are very brave to be standing up and doing this. When we come back after the break, we're going to continue talking to our teenage patriots, how they're going to make the change, and how they realize government does not make good decisions, only the people do. After the break.
It's sure been showing that recently, hasn't it?